Somebody asked me, why is it so challenging to tell the opposite story? And what they're talking about when they're asking the question, why is it so challenging to tell the opposite story? It's talking about the story that we're telling ourselves. It's talking about the narrator. It's talking about our assumptions and our beliefs about the things, the people, and the situations going on in our lives. And the reason that it is so challenging is because of the evidence outside of yourself that your ego mind, your left side of your brain, your little narrator is going to say, no, that's not true because X, Y, and Z. But this is the thing that you need to understand. You have always been the creator, okay? You've always been creating your 3D world. And I know it doesn't seem like that, okay? I understand that the illusion makes you think that the outside is the cause and the inside is the effect. However, that is not the case. You have always been the creator of your reality. In fact, you are reality. Your inner world is the reality. And sometimes we have very subtle, quiet assumptions. And the quiet assumptions are things that we have generalizations about, okay? And whether we got those generalizations from our observation from being a child or a teenager or even an adult, sometimes we have generalizations about like men in general. Like maybe your father, could have been present or absent. Maybe he was very wholesome. Maybe he was a male whore. Sorry for that, for virgin ears who don't want to talk about that way. Maybe he was very calm and centered, and maybe he was erratic and loud, and maybe your mother was very dominant or she was very passive. But the situation basically comes down to this. We have generalizations about everybody. We don't realize that we make assumptions about all men are this, or all women are this, or children are this, or, grandparents are this, or we can even go into professions. Nurses are this, cashiers are this. We do have assumptions, okay? And those quiet assumptions are shaping the way that we perceive the world. So it can be very challenging to change what you're thinking when you have evidence outside of you to support what it is that you believe, right? So you believed that, every single time you go to this particular McDonald's, they always mess up your order, right? And it's like, I'm here to tell you, start saying, every single time I go to that McDonald's, they get my order right. And then it creates sort of a battle of your mind of, I can count and tell you how many times I've gone there and how many times it's been bad. And so for me to just start telling you, that feels like I'm being dishonest. That feels like I am, lying to myself or lying about it or pretending or whatever you want to call it. And I understand that it's the evidence outside of you that is supporting your belief. That's what you think. But you've always been the creator. You didn't know you were the creator before. And I'm here to tell you, you've always been the creator. And if you want to take charge of your assumptions and your beliefs, you do have to stop having faith in the seen, and you have to start having faith in the unseen. You have to start having more faith in what it is that you want versus what it has appeared as, in order to experience shifts, in order to go into a place where your life is magically transformed behind or in front of your eyes. So that's what it is. The reason that it can be challenging, the reason that it can be difficult is because you didn't realize that you were the creator from the beginning. You always saw the outside as the cause and the secondary was you as the effect. But you are the source. You've always been the source. You've always been creating. And I know that might bring up questions. Well, how did I create this? And we can get into that if you really want to. But for all intents and purposes of this message today, it is understanding that you've always been source, you've always been creating. We all have very quiet assumptions that we can hone in on and try to change. Or you can just start simply going, today, you know what? I'm not going to look at the outside to decide what is true for me in my reality. I'm just going to start to decide what it is that I want. And I'm going to use all of my focus to spend my time believing on what it is that I'm picturing up here, what it is that I am embodying in here, knowing that I'm the source. So I know you're having a great day. Keep shining your light because the world needs it. Take care.